Okay, boys and girls, so what we have here is your repaso del capítulo. This is your review of the chapter. And the first chapter in your textbook, which you'll be getting, is called Realidades, reality. It's a fantastic series. And here are all the words in the first chapter that the boys and girls are expected to know before we sort of move on. Some of these words we've reviewed, others we haven't even touched. So I have a lot to kind of catch you up on, but the sooner the better. So these are, my Spanish one group at home remote or here in school. These are all the words I need you to know. Let's begin.
Libro del estudiante. Página 22. Repaso del capítulo. Vocabulario y gramática. Listen to these words and expressions that you have learned in this chapter. You will hear each word or expression once. En la escuela.
Buenos días.
Buenas noches.
Buenas tardes.
Hola,
¿Cómo te llamas?
me llamo.
Encantado. Encantada.
For feminine masculine.
Igualmente.
Mucho gusto.
Señor,
Mr.,
Señora.
Mrs.,
señorita,
Miss, someone who's not married.
¿Cómo está usted?
Formal, how are you?
¿cómo estás?
Familiar.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué tal?
¿Y tú?
¿Y usted?
Bien.
Muy bien.
Nada.
Regular.
Gracias.
These are ways to say goodbye.
Adiós.
Hasta luego.
Hasta mañana.
Nos vemos.
Terms when we're telling time.
¿Qué hora es?
Es la 1.
Son las 2:15.
Son las 2 menos cuarto.
Y cuarto.
Menos cuarto.
Y media.
En la clase.
El bolígrafo.
La carpeta.
El cuaderno.
So I want to talk about some of these. Excuse me. I want to talk about some of these terms which we were just kind of reviewing. Now, the telling time is going to be a little tricky depending on how much you remember. The Spanish dialogue, as far as, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, buenas noches. That I think you should be just fine with. You'll get that. One thing I do want to talk about will be the tú versus usted. These are the ways to say you in Spanish. Tú is going to be used when I'm speaking to my friends, my family, people your own age. Okay. Usted, because you might have heard that, right? Y tú, y usted. Usted, first of all, is abbreviated generally, capital U, D period. And it's simply a formal way to use the you form. You're showing respect. So if you're speaking to people you don't know well, older people, and people in position of authority, for example, generally students would use that with their teachers or policemen, things of that nature. Let's get back down to this. Okay.
El estudiante. La estudiante.
La hoja de papel.
El lápiz.
El libro.
El profesor. La profesora.
So again, going back to el estudiante, la estudiante, right? A male student would be el estudiante. A female student would be la estudiante. El profesor would be a male teacher. La profesora, a female teacher. Again, these are classroom objects or objetos de la clase. They're all beginning with the word the, but notice they either start with an L, a la, and that just shows that they have different genders. We'll get into gender later. Don't get concerned. Just know that it means the.
El pupitre.
La sala de clases.
El año.
This is date.
El día.
We know this.
El mes.
La semana.
¿Qué día es hoy?
¿Cuál es la fecha?
Es el 2 de septiembre.
Es el 1 de agosto.
Right? Our ordinal number.
Hoy.
Mañana.
We're good on our days.
¿Cuántos?
These are good words to know now.
¿Cuántas?
How many? Masculine.
En.
How many female?
Hay.
Power
Por
word.
favor.
I is a great word to know. It's essentially a verb, but you could use it in a responding or a question. For example, if I wanted to ask, are there pencils? Right? I could say, ¿hay lápices? And if I wanted to say, yes, there are pencils, I could say, sí, hay lápices. Yes, there are. So when it's in a question form, it's going to be, I'll be switching these words around. Are there? When it's in a statement, I, it just simply means there are, there is. I love this word. It's a great word for you to know.
¿Cómo se dice?
Se dice
Right? So that would work something like this. ¿Cómo se dice lápiz? In English. Or maybe I should switch it up. Make the word English. ¿Cómo se dice pencil? Se dice lápiz. We've done this in an activity before. ¿Cómo se escribe is how do you spell something out? So you would spell it out. For example, ¿cómo se escribe gym? Se escribe J-I-M. We did this before. I'm just trying to see if you remember it. And the last one is, how do you, what does it mean? So first is, how do you say something? The first one, the second one is, how is it spelled? And then the third is, what does it mean? So, ¿qué quiere decir lápiz? Quiere decir pencil. All right. So these two go together. These two go together. These two go together. Notice question, response, question, response, question, response.
¿Cómo se escribe?
Se escribe,
¿Qué quiere decir?
quiere decir,
Now on to weather.
El tiempo.
Here we go.
¿qué tiempo hace?
Hace calor.
Hace frío,
Hace sol.
hace viento.
Good. Now, let's talk about those four phrases. Notice they have hace in front of it. Essentially, in Spanish, what you're saying when you're talking about it's hot, it's cold, it's sunny, it's windy, you're literally saying hacer is the infinitive to make or to do. So you're literally saying, it's making hot, it's making cold, it's making sun, it's making wind. The last two here, llueve and nieva, these are going to be verbs. To rain, to snow, but they're being conjugated. So llueve is conjugated to saying it's doing it right now. It's raining. Nieva means it's snowing right now.
Llueve.
Nieva,
La estación.
Here we go.
el
Seasons.
invierno,
El otoño.
la primavera,
El verano.
Good. So that was your repaso. So we're going to listen to it, but I will expect you to be listening to this sort of on your own now. Okay. So that was our repaso, and I need you to know this, and I need you to practice this. Thank you.